Back again, 5th day, new video, feedback. Awesome, incredible, straight into it. Glad you're back on the daily. Ear and deep, thank you, appreciate it. Thank you, Steve, for answering my question on the Profit House. And yes, I am part of the circle. I don't have a question, just wanted to thank you for everything you're doing. You're truly one of the best out there. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I'm Marmite. Some people like me, some people don't like me. Part and parcel of the world. Opinions are something that you have to just roll with, basically. But appreciate that. Bartek, thanks Steve again for the answer. That was helpful. Okay. Hi Steve, could you please do a video on the process of bridging loans versus the process of raising finance with examples? Okay. Can I do something for you? Yes. I'll tell you what I can do. I'll tell you what I actually will do. I'm just checking out the other messages on here to make sure that... No. I'll do a breakdown of bridging loans for you. Okay. And I have a list here of everything that needs to be done when it comes to bridging loans, because it's one of the main things I get asked about by Property Circle members. So let's do a breakdown of bridging, because you'll understand how it works then and get a better, clear understanding. So let's say we're buying a property for £100,000 and you want to use bridging finance. From that £100,000, you will have to put a 25% deposit. Some of you might have to put 30% deposit depending on the lender and depending on your experience. So you're going to have to put here 25%. So the first payment that you've got to make is £25,000. Then you're going to have setup costs, and this is a list of the setup costs right here. So you have a 2% arrangement fee. So for £100,000, you will have a £2,000 arrangement fee. So that's your deposit, and that's your arrangement fee. On top of that, you will have a valuation fee. Now, a valuation fee can be anywhere from £500 to £1,500 depending on who you're using and what you're actually valuing. Then you have 3 types of interest. So you're borrowing £75,000. So you have retained, rolled up, and monthly. This one, pretty simple. You pay every month. This one, very, very, very simple. You pay it at the end when you pay the loan back. So they add the interest up over the amount of time that you take the bridge out for, 3, 6, 9, 12, 18, 24 months. And then you pay it all up front, including in all of your other fees. And when you complete your property and you either sell it or you turn it into a buy-to-let, say you do it in 8 months, you get the remaining 4 months worth of money knocked off what you've got to pay back, if that makes sense. And then retained is upfront. So you'll pay the whole of your interest up front. So rolled up is at the end when you pay the loan back. Retained is when you pay, lost my head then. Retained is when you pay at the beginning, with all of this. And rolled up is at the end. So there's 3 options. You don't really get to pick the options. The lender will kind of tell you which one they want you to go for, basically. And it's all down to experience, criteria, your relationship with the lenders. So that's how that works there. On top of the valuation fee, you have title insurance, which is going to come in at around, we got £300 on here. That's your average, but it can be 300 to 500. So that's your insurance. You're going to have to pay their solicitors' fees. That's part and parcel of it. And they can be anything from £750 to £1,500. Other things you're going to have to pay is your own solicitor's fees. And again, that could be a replica of that. And if you work out that you're borrowing £70,000 and you're going to be borrowing £70,000 for 12 months, and the average is 1% a month, that's where it works out to. On 70,000, you're looking at 8,400. That's your interest to borrow the money. So if you're looking at a £100,000 property, right guys, and you add all this up, where you got 27, 28 and a half, 29, 30, 38, just say to borrow 100,000, it could cost you 39,000 upfront to borrow 100k. They're the fees. And then another thing that we've not taken in there, you will have a broker fee as well. So your broker fee could be anything from 1% to 3% depending on the broker. So it could be another on 70,000. It's going to be another, what, £2,100 maximum. So bridging is expensive, but it does work if the numbers add up to the property, basically. You've got to figure it all out. You've got to make sure that you've done your due diligence correctly, you understand it inside out, back to front, and you use bridging correctly. That's the key. Hi Steve, just want to ask a tax related question. Now I'm not a financial advisor, so I have to be careful what I say here. Best with an example. So imagine you refurbed a property, the new value is 200k and the loan to value being 150k. If you pull that money out and use only 100k of it towards other property ventures, is the 50k remaining taxable or no? I know debt is usually not taxable, but a bit confused on the above scenario. Thanks for all the help. These videos are amazing. Jazz. No, Jazz. If you take out money as debt, it's not taxable. You can use that money to go and do something else. It's not taxable. The remaining equity that you've got in your property is usually tied up in your property. So you have to leave 25% worth of equity in any property in order for a lender to give you money. That's untouched money. So you're not doing anything with that. When you sell a property, obviously, we all know what happens when you sell, whether it's in your personal name or it's in a limited company. But no, when you're taking the money out, you're good. And the remaining money in the house as equity is in there. You're not touching it, so there's nothing to pay on it. So you're good. I hope that gets a little bit of clarity for you. Hi Steve, thank you for answering my question from yesterday. This is Steve Walklett. When you project manage flips with all the different trades, how do you log what stages they're at? Do you use Excel sheets, Gantt charts, or any kind of software to help you? I'm not a massive fan of managing individual trades. I'll be honest with you. It's not my forte. I don't like it. I think it can cause problems because if you look at a basic 2-3 bedroom refurb back to brick, first and foremost, you need electricians. You're going to need a plumber. You need a plasterer. You need a carpenter. You need a tiler. You need a decorator. A kitchen fitter might not be a carpenter that does the normal carpentry, so you need that. Then you're going to want a landscaper. You need a building inspector to come on site. You're going to have to order all of the materials yourself. It can get very tricky if you don't know the process of a refurb or if your organisational skills are not good. But if your organisational skills are exceptional, well, you can't control a human being. You don't know what a human being does or will do. You don't know how they live, what's going on behind closed doors. So you can arrange everything amazingly well, and then every person lets you down and your whole project is falling to pieces. So my advice to you, if you're starting out and it's brand new to you, try and use one contractor who controls everything. Yes, you might be paying a little bit of a premium, but it will explain, well, it won't explain, it will show you how to do it and you'll see it firsthand. So me explaining it to you might be like, I can definitely do that. You seeing it firsthand will be like, okay, the way Steve explained it has exactly happened. So individual trades is very difficult. If you're doing a light refurb, yes, individual trades. But if you're doing a full back to brick or you're doing extensions or a ground up development, Try and be the contractors on site, and if you have no experience, get an experienced project manager and pay that 10-15%. That's my opinion. Hi Steve, can you explain in detail a JV and show an example? Put contractors up on the screen. Contracts up on the screen when signing up an investor. No, can't do that because these contracts cost me thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds, and having them all on the screen is just not something I would do. But I can explain to you how a JV works. I've done that in episode 1. So this is obviously episode 5. So if you go back to episode 1, you can see the question in there for you, and there's a breakdown on the screen as well. But if you want me to explain it without using the screen, you can set up SPVs, you can have personal guarantees, you can have deeds of trust, you can have first and second charges. There's multiple ways that you can structure a JV. You might not bring any money. The person might bring all the money because you bring knowledge. You might bring 50-50. There's so many ways you can do it. It's just all down to your way of thinking and what you're trying to get out of it. That's the key. I like to do JVs because I get to buy more stuff and build the portfolio quicker. That's my reason behind it. And also, JVs don't always go according to plan. So as long as you know it's not an investment and it's a loan, the investor's always safe as sound, or safe as houses, and safe and sound. But if you put it as an investment, which then you have to be FCA and do certain things, that means the capital's at risk. So you need to make sure that you put down that the capital's not at risk, it's a loan agreement, and you personally guarantee it. That's what you need to do, because if you're getting somebody into a JV, they need to make sure that they're not going to lose their money. That's the key. All my JVs are personally guaranteed. So one way or another, everything's happy, safe, sound, no dramas. Whereas with an investment, if something goes wrong, the money can be lost, obviously. So structure it correctly, and you can grow to whatever you want it to grow to. What's your, Stephen, I know Stephen. Stephen's a member of the Property Circle. What's your advice on buying a leasehold for a flip? If it's to purchase a freehold, what's the best way to get into this if the agent doesn't know? Buying a leasehold to flip is fine, especially with 800 years on there. You've got no dramas, no problems, people will buy it. If you're trying to buy the freehold and no one knows where to go, you need to get your solicitor on it, and your solicitor can deal with it and find out where the freehold is at, who owns the freehold, and what the cost of actually buying it is. You use my solicitors, and you've used my solicitor last week, so you know how good she is. You know exceptional levels. As you messaged me and told me, she went above and beyond for you on Saturday afternoon when she wasn't at work, and she broke down your legal pack for you for a property you was buying in auction, and you messaged me saying how good she is. So speak to her, and she will help you get this resolved or find out the information that you don't know. She is the best solicitor in the country by far. How do you work out the cost of a dormer extension? Very difficult, Paul Simpson. You need to get somebody who is a specialist in this to come and do it for you. I do know on a 3-bedroom, semi-detached or detached house, to do a dormer extension, which is 2 bedrooms with a bathroom in the middle, you're looking at £30,000 to £35,000 on an average size semi or a detached. But again, to get the exact cost of a dormer, you do need somebody to come out and quote it up on the property that you're looking at. Dean W 1990. Hi mate, I have 80k from my first property flip that I sold last month. I moved into a bedsit to allow more free cash. How would you recommend turning 80k into 500k? I had in mind property flip renos, then when I reach 500k, start buying land, building flats, etc. as I'm a qualified building surveyor and a half decent builder. I would appreciate any guidance. Cheers, mate. Dean, my advice to you is you've done a flip and you've got 80k. So keep doing the same thing that you have done until you get your funds up to around £300,000. Once you're up to £300,000, you can start flipping using bridging finance into bigger properties. Now, I did explain the situation with the economy, saying that, you know, houses at $500,000 are 50-50. Some sit there for a while, some are selling straight away. That's the risk that you have to take. Everything we do in life is a risk. Every single thing that we do is a risk. And you need to obviously do your due diligence, but the risk takers are usually the ones that become more successful. And my advice, again, keep doing what you've done because you've already obviously profited from it. Do it again and again and again and get up to £300,000. Once you're up to £300,000, you can buy things like a 3 or 4 bedroom detached house and, you know, put a double story extension on it, do a single story extension on the back, make it the best house on the street, sell it for a bigger profit, you know, 50s and £100,000, and then it will build your money up quicker. Everything takes time. There is a process, and you need to follow the process correctly in order to get to that level. And if you try to force it, you might put yourself in a position where you can't keep it going. Now, if that's you and you're that kind of guy, just make sure that you have enough cash as a contingency in case there's any delays or anything like that. That's what I'm trying to say. So don't run before you can walk. Have you got proper education? Do you know what you're doing, or was your first flip quite lucky because it was a residential house? Because a lot of people flip a residential and call themselves property developers. You're not a property developer if you bought a residential house and you flipped it and you've lived there for 5 years and you've made 80k. That's not flipping. That's not property development. If I bought a house and held it for 5 years and renovated it whilst it was there for 5 years, in any time that I wanted to renovate it, I'd also be making a profit on every flip. But the key to this industry is buying something and flipping it short term and making a profit, whether that be 10%, 15, 20, 25, whatever that is. That's the name of the game when it comes to investing when you're flipping, not residential flips where you literally can do the work at your own pace, at your own time. That's not how it works. iPhone Joey, thank you, Steve, for taking the time to help Top Man. Guys, that was all the questions today. There wasn't many questions. Yeah, it was a slow day yesterday. Thursday, nobody really wanted to tune in and ask me anything. I'm here. It's the Genius Bar. Whatever you guys want to know, property, business, mindset, I'm right here. I'm here for you. I'll be back on Monday with a new video. We've got Saturday, we've got Sunday, where we have 2 releases, tomorrow and Sunday. I'm in Liverpool on Saturday. I'm in Birmingham on Sunday for my university meetup. If you guys need any help, if you want to know anything, I'm here. But it's the weekend. You guys need to be safe. Make sure if you're going out this weekend that you don't get into any trouble. You don't get involved in anything going on out there, because right now the country is in a bit of a mess. And if you're going to do anything this weekend, do something nice. Be nice, be kind. Spread some positivity. In a world full of hate, be a nice person. Open the door for someone. Comment on someone's appearance if they've changed it. Buy someone a cup of coffee that you don't know. Do something completely different to what you've ever done before, and watch something really nice happen to you. Because when you're a nice person, good things happen. And if you're going through a tough time right now, don't worry about it, because it doesn't last and everything becomes great again. So be nice, be kind, keep dreaming big, and get your goddamn questions in, because this was a short video. See you soon.